handful of smaller Panhandle communities are getting their share of more than $28 million in USDA rural development grant money. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, Kimball County and the communities of Lyman, Crawford, Morrill, and Bayard are among Nebraska localities recently announced to share a portion of more than $28 million in community funding through USDA Rural Development. Bayard and Morrill will receive Economic Impact Initiative grants of $17,700 and $21,700 respectively for projects in their communities. Morrill City Clerk Janine Schmidt says the rural development programs are life-saving and life-changing, as previous funding has helped with the purchase of items such as police and fire units.
It has allowed us to have a police and fire rescue services right here in the heart of our village. Without these funds, we'd be relying on a county sheriff whose resources are spread across 750 miles throughout the county or nearby communities for fire and rescue protection.
Community Facilities disaster grants of $16,000 and $168,000 have been awarded to Crawford and Lyman. And a Community Facilities direct loan of more than $23.4 million is going to the Kimball County Hospital for their new hospital project at the site of a former elementary school. Well, Scottsbluff's Flyover Brewery has officially broken ground exteriorly on their expansion project. This week, co-owner Andrea Margheim approached the City Council to get approval to extend their patio in front of 1820 Broadway. City Attorney Kent Haydenfeld said there was only one minor hiccup to the approval.
Yeah, well, they have the address. Zach and I failed to talk about this, but the address is on there at 1820, but the legal description needs to be added because it will be recorded. Okay. And when I reviewed it this weekend, I quite frankly didn't realize there was no legal description on there, so I got the deed, and we'll add it when the mayor signs it, if that's okay, and then it'll be recorded, but it will be, I think it's lot 22, something around there, right downtown.
The council unanimously voted in favor for the license agreement to approve the patio to be extended. Margheim said the finished product will look nearly identical to their existing patio. We'll have more news right after this.
The journey of a dream becoming reality. When we're young, a dream develops into a passion. That passion continues to manifest and grows as you do. It becomes all you want to do and all you want to be. It gives you direction. It drives you. Then your dream has become a reality. When that dream is ready to be reality, Platte Valley Bank will be with you every step of the way.
Welcome back. Panhandle COVID cases reached an all-time high during the week of January 16th, but since that time have continued to trend downward. PPHD Executive Director Kim Engel attributes that in part to more at-home testing, as those numbers are not reflected in the dashboard.
But the importance of testing outweighs the collection of that every specific test. So if you're able to test, no matter how, if it's at home or in another means, at least you know what precautions to take and what the best guidance is. So
yesterday, Unified Command confirmed 164 new COVID cases in the Panhandle since last reporting last week. 93 of those cases are here in Scottsbluff County. Well, Nebraska lawmakers gave initial approval to a bill that would let workers claim religious or health exemptions to employer vaccine mandates. The measure by Senator Ben Hansen of Blair closely resembles a policy that's already in place at the federal level. Omaha Senator Michaela Cavanaugh called the bill completely unnecessary and discriminatory.
You're willing to provide protections to basically white people, white cisgender normative people. And I think that that is abhorrent, that you pick and choose who deserves your vote for protection and who doesn't.
The bill, LB 906, was watered down from an earlier proposal that would have let employees claim vaccine exemptions due to strong moral, ethical, or philosophical beliefs or convictions. After changes were made to address concerns of medical professionals, lawmakers advanced it. And Nebraska water regulators are rallying behind a proposal to build a $500 million canal in neighboring Colorado to divert water out of the South Platte River, a project steeped in fears that the fast-growing Denver area will consume most of the river's water. Leaders from Nebraska's irrigation and natural resource districts cast the plan as a crucial step to preserve as much of the state's water supply as possible. Governor Pete Ricketts identified it as a top priority, arguing that not moving forward would eventually cost Nebraska billions as farms, cities, and other water users struggle with shortages. Colorado officials say they don't fully understand Nebraska's concerns, noting that they've always complied with the compact. Well, still to come, Bill with your weather and Chris Cottrell with your sports. Those stories and more right after this on KNEB.TV News.
Are new windows from Renewal by Andersen a great investment? You're darn right they are. Did you know that for less than your cable bill or cell phone bill each month, you could have new windows from Renewal by Andersen right now? Do the math. Renewal by Andersen windows will likely cut your energy bills significantly. They will likely substantially increase the value of your home. They're a great investment. Please contact our team now and ask about our fantastic financing options with approved credit right now. Renewal by Andersen, a great investment? You're darn right.
Some people think Allstate only protects your car. Here's the truth. Allstate can also protect your home or apartment, as well as your boat, motorcycle, RV, and snowmobile, and even your retirement and your life. Not many insurance companies can say that, but Allstate can.
Bundle and save with Allstate. In Gearing, call Allstate agent Michael Inglehop for a quote today at 308-436-2123.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
We're going to be looking across the region right now with partly cloudy skies as we go through the evening hours, and we'll turn clear maybe for a little bit, only to cloud back up as we get towards sunrise tomorrow. And then, hey, look what returns. Our wind friends back tomorrow as we're going to see another day of strong gusty winds here across the high plains. It's going to be windy and much colder tomorrow from where we were today and yesterday as well. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday looks warmer just in time for Valentine's Day. Snow enters the forecast Wednesday with more active weather on the way next week. 51 yesterday for a high after a morning low of 27. Nothing in the rain gauge yesterday. 17 hundredths for the month. About normal. 87 hundredths for the year. About 3/10 of an inch or a third of an inch or so above normal. Temperatures are well above normal right now. We are in the 50s out there. Hopefully you enjoyed today because these temps are crashing down tomorrow. 40s from Lusk down to Cheyenne, otherwise 50s for most of us. And winds that are currently out of the west-northwest. They've been gusty today. 15, 25 sustained, gusts 30, 40, 50 miles an hour at times. And not much to worry about in the wind chill department. Let's take a look at what we have happening here. We do have a few weather alerts that have been posted, mostly for winds. We have high wind warnings that remain in effect through the night tonight for areas around Cheyenne over towards Wheatland. Those wind-prone areas are under a high wind warning. But for tomorrow, we do have high wind watches that have been posted for the portions of the Nebraska Panhandle here. This does include most of the Nebraska Panhandle. Again, we'll keep an eye on it for you, but it does look like the possibility is there for some strong winds tomorrow across the region. Let's take a look at our bus stop forecast as we get out the door tomorrow. We're going to see temps in the low 30s. Could see a flurry or two in the morning. Could see a flurry or two in the afternoon. Maybe a few breaks in the clouds, but it is going to be windy and still in the 30s. We have that northwesterly flow coming in all night tonight and into tomorrow. That's going to keep the cold air coming. Overnight tonight, you can see a few flurries or snow showers are going to be possible across the region. Otherwise, we're going to be dealing with partly to mostly cloudy skies and temps falling into the 20s and low 30s. Now tomorrow, That northwesterly flow continues, and we're not going to move much in temperatures all day. Off and on snow flurries possible, especially in the morning, but still some later on in the day as well. Not enough that it's going to add up to a whole lot, but if you get under some of the heavier snow bands, you could pick up a dusting to an inch or two out of this storm system. Otherwise, we're looking for temps tomorrow only in the 30s, low 40s at best for most of us. That was after lows in the 30s, so it's definitely going to be cold out there tomorrow. We have a few areas that are the model's trying to pick up a little more snow on. This is all light and going to be less than an inch for the most part, maybe an inch or two again if you get under some of those heavier snow bands, and some of us will get no snow out of the situation. Overcast, winds decreasing late tonight. Could see a few breaks in the clouds. 34 your low. Breezy early, though. Tomorrow it's going to be downright windy. Winds gusting 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. Flurries are possible around the region. 41 your expected high. As we look at our 7-day forecast as we go into Saturday, at about 5 to 10 degrees, it's going to be warmer. Going to see a lot of sun by afternoon. Sunday looks fantastic, and so does Monday and Tuesday for that matter. Temperatures upper 50s and low 60s, and then it all comes crashing down. We get back into the 40s as we go Wednesday and Thursday of next week with at least some chances of some snow.
Morrill County Community Hospital and the behavioral health providers are here to help. Amber Dean specializes in mental health care, which includes medication and therapy across a person's lifespan. Melody Lacey helps people deal with a wide range of behavioral problems, from depression and anxiety to child psychiatry. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time. At Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska. Exceptional care right here at home.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank, a bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
Now, sports from the FNBO Sports Desk. FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.
Well, we're going to have a local kid ready to head out and live the dream. That'll be our focus today here at the TV Sports Desk. Scottsbluff Junior soccer player Cade Huck is going to be heading a long ways away from home. Huck recently signed to play on in England with a developmental academy team.
My parents and I, are always looking for opportunities for me, and we kind of stumbled upon Macclesfield, and it's something that everything just fell into place. And so next year, September 1st, I will be playing across seas for a club team in England.
So Macclesfield FC, they're outside Manchester, England. And of course, Manchester houses two of the top teams in the world in Manchester City and Manchester United. This Macclesfield club plays in the 4th division of European football.
So Macclesfield's big goal is eventually to keep building their way up to the highest league as possible, which is the Premier League. So I'm kind of in the rebuild of where Macclesfield was bankrupt, and now they're kind of rebuilding and becoming a really successful club.
You can check out a video on YouTube done by the BBC that documents Macclesfield's rebuild, gives some really good insight into everything Huck will be entering into. Huck has been there and he's trained with some of the guys he'll be playing with on this academy team. Let's check in with one of their coaches right now.
For us, it's always not just about what someone can do on the pitch. Of course, being a football club in England in association with the university, it's a big part, but it's also what they can bring to the group as a person off the pitch as well. And Cade for us was the full wraparound. I know that he's graduating a year early. He's took some extra credits and everything like that to try and his hardest to be with us. And that just sums him up as a person for me. We really wanted to get him over. We spoke at length with him, and he's managed to go that extra mile academically to get himself over here. So we can't wait for September to have him with us on our full-time program.
So it'll be a 3-year contract for Huck over in England when he heads that direction. That said, he's still got a season to play this spring for Scottsbluff and head coach Nate Rock.
Yeah, Coach Rock has definitely made soccer in Western Nebraska possible. And what he's done here is amazing, and it'll continue to grow because of Coach Rock. It's been awesome to be a player under him, and I can't wait for my senior season.
It's truly living the dream if you're Cade Huck. Wrap things up at Scottsbluff this spring and then head to the soccer madhouse of England starting in September. Plenty of basketball on tap this weekend for Scottsbluff and Gering, both teams in North Platte and McCook the next 2 nights. And then the Gering girls home for Chase County on Saturday. WNCC sports getting hot and heavy as well. Baseball opening their season in New Mexico. Softball in Texas, a total of 8 games for their opening trip. And then basketball Saturday and Sunday on the road. Chuck will have those games, of course, basketball on KOZY 101.3. That will do it for today. The latest right here from the FNBO Sports Desk. I'm Chris Cottrell.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
The 5055E from John Deere features the value of choice with a cab or open station, 2-wheel drive or mechanical front-wheel drive, and transmission options. In addition to easy-to-use controls and loader compatibility. All of this is backed with a 5-year powertrain warranty. The only thing easier than owning a 5E is operating one. See your John Deere dealer for details.
Visit 21st Century Equipment with locations in Scottsbluff, Torrington, Bridgeport, and Alliance. Developing solutions, delivering success.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. The Community Calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
And finally tonight, the public is cordially invited to celebrate the Legacy of the Plains open house being held tonight in Gering to introduce Phase 2 of the organization's capital campaign. Executive Director Dave Wolf says while Phase 1 of the campaign focused on the inside, the next part of the upgrades will involve the outside attractions.
We're building a replica of a sawmill. We've got the actual saw and some of the timbers that were donated. And so we're about halfway through that project. We want to get a cabin that's up at a log cabin that's up at the Wildcat Hills, move down and place it right by the road so people can see it as they're coming up the road, and hopefully convince them, hey, we're a museum. And then some of the bigger projects we have, we want to build a railhead, playground, and a couple buildings to house some of our equipment.
Doors will be open from 5 to 7 p.m. with hors d'oeuvres and a cash bar. Donations and pledges will also be accepted. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.